Good afternoon and welcome to GrainTV. It's October 23rd, 2013. To my left is Logan Burgess and I'm Brock Shimbido. We had a positive day across the board for the grains in Chicago. Let's turn with a fire tip to see how we ended. Corn was up 4.5 cents. Soybeans, the leader of the upside, up 7 3/4. Wheat in Chicago up a penny, and Kansas City was up 5 1/4 cents here today. You know, Logan, it seemed like for corn in particular, the fundamentals were a little bit stronger here today.
Yep.
What was supporting corn in particular was the EIA production numbers.
Yeah, we got a very strong ethanol production report out today. 897,000 barrels per day produced last week. A very strong number there. A very strong weekly figure. We haven't seen it that high since June 2012, so that was certainly helping push the corn market higher. The one thing to note was that we did have quite a bit higher ethanol stocks as well. So we'd expect this to a degree during harvest. We have higher production, not necessarily higher consumption, and that's something to keep an eye on here as we move forward. Bottom line, though, that did help the corn market out today. But from a technical aspect, there's certainly some concerns that remain.
Yeah, if we turn over to the daily candlestick chart for the corn on December contract, you can see that we continue to butt up against resistance right around that 445 area, which was on the low end of that channel that we've been trading in for the better part of a year now. You know, I'm looking at that area. We continue to butt up against resistance there. We've hit it several times over the last week and a half. I'm looking for us to get some pretty good fundamental news to push us above that area. We're going to have to trade above there with conviction for us to signal possibly a move higher to maybe the 480 area or so.
Yeah, you know, it looks like a little bit different right now. If we take a look at soybeans here on that daily chart, you can see that we're now firmly above $13 a bushel. And certainly we'd look for that to act as support here as we move forward. A classic example of what was resistance. Now that we're through it, should act as support, so keep an eye on that. In today's action, though, we did see the 50-day moving average kind of cap any rallies that we saw. And soybeans was helped out from a fundamental aspect today as well. We saw a large export sale reported to Russia. That's kind of an abnormal sale here, so that certainly got the soybean bulls excited. There's been some talk that the Ukrainian and the Russian harvest is being delayed. Certainly could see some sales pushed onto the U.S. books as a result. Bottom line, though, a good day today for soybeans. We're going to need to wait, though, to see tomorrow's export sales report and next Thursday's export sales report, which is kind of going to be a very big day for the grains in general, and we'll talk about that here later in the show. But bottom line, keep an eye on export sales of soybeans tomorrow and next week for kind of confirmation that this market's ready to take another leg higher.
You know, let's take a quick look at the wheat contract as well on the daily candlestick chart here. You can see that that last bar is kind of shaping up to look like a little bit of a gravestone there. Technicians kind of view that as an area that could signal a near-term top for right now. And also on top of us is the 200-day moving average, which is coming in right around the 715 area. So there's going to be a couple of technical areas to watch on wheat. Yep. You know, wheat was aided initially today by some fundamental news coming out of Australia. There were some production concerns there. And we know that Australia is actually the second largest exporter of wheat onto the world market. So any production concerns there could actually put a little bit of a bid underneath the wheat market, but we saw us fall off towards the end of the day today.
Yeah, you know, certainly those export sales tomorrow are going to be watched closely for wheat as well. If we just run down the numbers here in terms of what the trade is expecting out of tomorrow's export sales report, wheat expected to have a pretty good week. 600 to 850,000 metric tons reported, expected to be reported there by the USDA. Corn, 650 to 850,000 metric tons, and kind of a continuation of the theme here. Very strong soybean exports expected tomorrow. 850 to just over 1 million metric tons reported or expected to be reported for soybeans in tomorrow's numbers. We'll be tweeting about that report as it comes out live on Twitter. At GrainTV is where you can find us over there. And kind of like we said, Brock, you know, today was a very good day in terms of movement that we saw for corn and soybeans, but we're going to need to see confirmation here in the next couple days. We'll see if tomorrow's report is bullish enough to keep this move going. Thanks a lot for joining us here on GrainTV. We'll see you tomorrow.